I was watching the History Channel, and it was telling me that the center of the moon is hollow, and that is where the aliens stay. Well, I'm going to prove that wrong with this device here, and I'm going to tell you why they think the way they do about the moon being hollow. Would you like to take an interactive virtual tour of this spacecraft, or this spacecraft, or this spacecraft, or even this spacecraft? Well, stay till the end and we'll show you how. In this issue of Spacecraft Guide, we are going back to the moon, to the actual surface of the moon on Apollo 11 landing site, to look at another instrument and to debunk some more lies about the moon, one being that it's hollow and why they think that. But we are going to use the PSEP, and this is for measuring the seismic activity of the surface of the moon. And when you click on it, it takes you to the Passive Seismic Experiment Package, or PSEP. And what this did is this instrument contained 4 seismometers powered by 2 solar panels, which converted solar energy into electricity. It used these long period seismometers and 1 short period vertical seismometer for measuring meteorite impacts and moonquakes, recording about 100 to 200 hits by meteorites during its lifetime. Data regarding the strength, duration, and approximate direction of the seismic event were relayed to the tracking stations on Earth. Now, because it was only powered by solar cells, the experiment only operated during the lunar days, which are 354 days long, or as you know, about a little over 14 and a half days is how long a lunar daylight is. During the 354-hour lunar night, when the temperatures can plummet to minus 107 degrees Celsius. Now you got to remember, water freezes at 0. It boils at 100. This is 170 degrees Celsius. The instrument was kept to a minimum of minus 54 Celsius by a radioisotope heater. It was the first use of nuclear energy in any NASA manned missions. Any temperatures below this could damage the instrument. So what they did is they took nuclear material with them. And the reason why they took it was to keep this warm. That was its only use. It was solar powered, and that was the first use of nuclear energy, which is a big plus for them. Now getting back to another interesting thing, they measured the strength, duration, and approximate direction of the seismic event that were relayed to the tracking stations on Earth. What they did is when something hit the moon, there's a few of these that were on the surface of the moon, and they would track the event when it hit, the resonance, and how far it took to go between them. And from that, they could determine the composition of the moon, which is pretty cool. A lot of the conspiracy theorists are saying that the moon is hollow and there's aliens within it. But through this device, we proved that it wasn't hollow. But it did have some properties that made people think it was hollow. And how those, the theory on them by the conspiracy theorists that it was hollow is based on that. But we're going to go a little bit more in depth for our Patreon users. And if you're not a Patreon user, now is a great time to do it. So if you would like to join and then find out why they would think that the moon was hollow, you'll be able to find out for our Patreon subscribers. So if you were, or if you are a Patreon subscriber and you click on General, that's all for this week. If you would like to use this interactive virtual reality exhibit on the command module, the lunar module, and the surface of the moon, just go to our Patreon page and the link will be down below.